What's up, guys? It's the Fight Man's podcast. Willem with Willem Zavell. Today, I'm going to be talking about the travesty that was the Jake Paul versus Tyson matchup. Um, to be honest with you, this is a post-fight kind of breakdown analysis, more so of an analysis. To be honest with you, when I first heard of this fight, I thought it was actually a joke. Um, Number one, number two, I thought it was like when I saw that there was posters and everything going on. I thought it was an exhibition, kind of like similar to the Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight. I think it was in 2020 and all of that. For a while, then it was gonna happen back in July. All of a sudden, I heard it got pushed back to November because of Tyson having a medical issue and stuff. And yeah. So I still thought it was somewhat of just like an exhibition, kind of like what the Roy Jones thing was. Then all of a sudden I had a friend of mine, text me about the fight, and I didn't know it actually gained that much momentum over the weeks. It was actually really interesting, to be honest with you. And then I started hearing it on like different business podcasts I listen to, and sometimes political podcasts, and I'm like, wait, hold up! Like, people actually think this is a big fight. I was telling my coworker that, my friend, like, this is a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. Like, what are we talking about? Like, this is not going to be a big thing. And the way they were building it up as if it was still some form of a big fight. And I was just like, wow. I was surprised. I was hearing it everywhere. The week, like at least the week of the fight. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, people are really taking this thing that serious. And then I went on Netflix, and then I saw they had this whole like 3-part episode thing of the fight. I'm like, are you serious? I could not believe it got that serious. And stuff. I watched the first episode, and Mike Tyson, I was watching Mike Tyson doing the mitts over the years. I think he started again like 4 years ago. This is back in COVID time. So I was watching a lot of his mitt work, and I still liked what I saw, but I knew he was older and stuff. But I didn't think anything of it. Like, I just knew he still had that, that beast, that monster inside. So when he was doing the mitts, it was kind of nostalgic seeing that again. But I never thought anything more of it than that. And then they try to show it in the Netflix thing, him training and all of it. I'm like, he's still 58 years old, guys. Jake Paul's 27. I thought Jake Paul was smaller than what he was. He's like 6'1". I was like, oh snap! I thought he was like 5'10" or something, which is around Mike Tyson's height. I think he's 5'11". Tyson 5'10", 5'11", and stuff. But the way they were talking about it, I'm like, oh my goodness, Jake Paul is trolling everybody. And it's still the mystique of Mike Tyson as well, that aura. Mike Tyson in his heyday would have feasted on Jake Paul. It wouldn't. Matter of fact, he wouldn't even got in the ring with. It would have been a ridiculous thing. But if social media existed back in the day, man, it would have been crazy. But with Mike Tyson and Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, all of that. But I digress. So when I'm seeing, like, when you're looking at the Netflix thing, they were showing pictures. Clips of a younger Mike Tyson, older clips. And I'm like, guys, he's 58. This is not what he is today. Why are we trying to make it seem like it's going to be something like that? Like, Jake Paul over here talking about, when I beat Mike Tyson, I'm going to be the face of boxing kind of thing. I'm going to be the baddest man I'm going to beat the baddest man on the planet. I'm like, what are you talking? He's 50. Like, I don't understand this. I don't understand it. And I'm like, man, people really got trolled. And mind you, I'm in the Dallas area. The day of the fight, on the Friday, last Friday, the November 15th, I drove around the AT&T center, whatever they call it, the AT&T arena, I don't know, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, and the amount of people I read. So then, like, I read a CNBC report that said 70,000 plus people were going to this fight. I could not believe it. I was like, are you serious? Like, this is a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. I could not believe it. What I told my friend, Mike Tyson is older. So at the end of the day, Mike Tyson, power almost never leaves you to some degree. You still need some snap in the punch. You still need speed to have power, and stuff, because you gotta torque it. So the power comes from the ground, through your legs, through your thighs, through your core, through your shoulder, and really, so it's a full body kind of a thing. So there's still an element of using your body into the punch and stuff. It's not really, you're not really throwing. It's not, I think if you don't know how to punch, you're throwing arm punches, which you can use that as diversions and stuff. You don't throw power punches every punch. You set people up and stuff for power punches and stuff, throwing them haymakers. If you throw power punches every punch, you're gonna get tired, man. You gotta learn. It's like economics, right? Endurance economics of some sort. But yeah, my biggest concern was, I'm a big Mike Tyson fan. He's older. I didn't want him to get beat. I didn't want him to look get embarrassed. I don't think Jake Paul is a good fighter, number one. And for you to try to stomp out an older man on the fact of him being a legend, to try to build your name up, I'm like, come on, dog. Like what are we doing, dude? Just like almost like no respect for the sport. But at the same time, Mike Tyson, he's older, so I just thought, I know I keep saying it, his foot speed, he was not going to be able to close distance like that, and his endurance because of his age. Those are the two things I was worried about. He's not going to be able to close distance because of his foot speed, just being older, and his endurance because of just being older. And I mean, as stupid as it is to say this, I thought Jake Paul would have to carry the fight. He's the one that can make it interesting. And if he wants to, because the thing is, I thought he was going to try to stay away, stay outside and just move his feet a little bit. And I'm like, yo, these people are just if he does something like that, the fight is not going to be interesting. I could have predicted that Mike Tyson would stay in the middle of the ring. And, I didn't think he was going to stay as much as he did. In the beginning, he was kind of trying to, move forward. But then he just kind of let it all go. Just sometimes he would just, hop from side to side and then kind of just stay in the middle and stuff like that. So it was really Jake Paul. As ridiculous as this even sounds, that could have made it an interesting fight if he wanted to stay in the pocket and just trade with Mike Tyson. I felt like he could have knocked him out if he wanted to. And he over here talking about he took it easy on Mike. I'm like, dude, what are you talking? What are you talking about? You took it easy on Mike, as if you have some type of real skills and stuff. What are we talking about, dog? I don't know, man. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't interesting. And I hope people realize that they should never trust Jake Paul ever again. This is deception. I mean, he's a businessman at the end of the day, and he trolled everybody with this to make you even think this was going to be interesting. He's the one that kind of held it in his hand and stuff. Over here bringing a pigeon out on a car and stuff on this car. I see one of my boys actually has something to do with that design. But over here bringing a pigeon out, it's just everything about it is just over here playing think about it. In the Netflix build up to the fight, he was playing Super Nintendo game, a Super Nintendo game of Mike Tyson. That's how old Mike Tyson is. Jake Paul never played Super Nintendo before until he played it in front of the Netflix thing. It was just utterly ridiculous. It was utterly ridiculous and stuff. This was a travesty. I thought. I just couldn't believe how many people fed into this stuff. Like, this is a big fight. Like, the casuals, and all you got to do is just market something a specific way. He trolled everybody, man. It was utterly ridiculous, man. But yeah, I mean, it was nothing interesting. I was hoping. I mean, a lot of us older guys were hoping, because we know what Mike can do. I mean, we were hoping he would have knocked him out. And I even watched it. Yeah, I watched it. And I was hoping he would just land a one shot and just end this Jake Paul thing and stuff. But he's going to exist. It is what it is. This is his whole gimmick. He beat Nate Robinson, and then he beat, like, MMA fighters. I forget who the first guy was. And he beat Nate Diaz, which he's a striker in the MMA world, but striking in boxing is a little different. It's like Muay Thai in the MMA versus Muay Thai versus a Muay Thai fighter. They're more specialized with it and things like that. He over there looking good. Then he actually lost to Tommy Fury and stuff. I think he's a legitimate fighter. Now he's talking about Canelo needs him. Are you serious? Like, are you serious? Canelo needs you. I don't understand it, man. It's utterly ridiculous, man. The whole thing, I didn't like it. I didn't like the whole Tyson Paul thing, but it is what it is. I mean, people look tuned in and all that, but still was utterly ridiculous, man. Just ridiculous. And stuff. So, hey, Butterbeam called out Jake Paul, and that's a dangerous fight. The other guy, Arthur, I forget his name. He's a heavyweight, I think, and he called out Jake Paul. Butterbeam, man, he beat Bivol, which I thought Bivol might have slightly won that fight. Maybe I should break that one down as well. But yo, Butterbeam is a pressure fight. He's gonna put it on you, and then he's those Eastern European guys, them tough guys, them Russian guys. He's a tough guy, man. He's got strength, very strong brother, and I think he will really hurt Jake Paul. So I would tell Jake Paul, like, just be careful, man. Like, you're playing with fire with these fighters, man. And boxing is not something to joke with. You're over here trying to build a name. I mean, I like the disruption. Don't get me wrong. I think fighters should use social media more. I thought Ryan Garcia was doing that. But look, Ryan Garcia was a legitimate fighter, though, to some degree. I mean, he had a whole amateur background. And so I don't know how many fights he had. I thought he was like 400 and something. Or it might have been the other guy, the Matrix. I forget his name. But I heard he had a lot of amateur fights. And, Ryan Garcia was fighting. So using social media to improve your star is basically the thing you should do today. And I'm for these young fighters doing that. But, like, Jake Paul, I just feel like, guys, why are we making a spectacle for something like this? Like, you're using the Tyson name. Who else could he have done this with? It broke all these records and stuff. But who else could he have done this with? He couldn't have done that with Tommy Fury. It's like you had to pick the right person, and Mike Tyson is the right person. Mike Tyson got respect from all fighters. It doesn't matter. It's not just boxing. It's MMA. It's Muay Thai. Mike Tyson got respect all around. People don't understand that. I didn't like how Hollywood was trying to do him. I didn't like how the media tried to portray him like some savage. Even though in the ring he was a monster, but still, he was real. He showed his emotions out in the air. A lot of controversial, funny interviews. You guys should check them all out. His interviews are classic. Oh my goodness. But so it was the right person to do it with. And on top of that, it's an easy opponent because he's older. I'm trying to tell you, everybody knows young Mike Tyson would have feasted on this dude. He wouldn't even, Jake Paul wouldn't even have, he wouldn't even be, he couldn't even hold Mike Tyson's boots or shoes and stuff. That's how unworthy he was to be in the same ring with that brother. And so now he gets to say that he beat Mike Tyson. Like, this stuff is utterly ridiculous. Like, utterly ridiculous. Like I said, Mike Tyson tried to close the gap early, and then, father time is father time. Maybe he realized, like what Paulie Malignaggi said, like, his mind wanted to do one thing and his body wanted to do something else. Couldn't do it, pretty much. So you gotta have to adapt to your age level. I prefer Mike not to get in the ring again. But I don't mind him working out. I don't mind him doing exhibitions and stuff. But yeah, I didn't like it. I thought it was ridiculous. But Mike Tyson's name is solidified, and I just hope people don't trust Jake Paul ever again. And these types of nonsense. If this is his business, go make your money, but do it with other people. Don't disrespect an icon. Talking about I took it easy on Mike. Are you serious, dog? Like, that's really what we doing? But I guess this is a generational thing, so it is what it is. But that's all I got to say. Definitely didn't like it. You can see that from my opinion. Anyways, signing off. I'm about to go to the gym and work out myself, so take it easy. Stay healthy. Peace.